Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach IELTS here in Lahore, and I teach IELTS all over the world with my online IELTS classes. Once again, I welcome you to academic IELTS reading video, and now we are going to start with third section. Third section is the most difficult one, and I have already selected a complicated test for solving. So we will solve this test together. The type of questions which we are going to do now is yes, no, not given. Okay, yes, no, not given, and there are 5 questions. So now let's go to the test and we solve. I give you the tips. I tell you how yes, no, not given is different from true, false, not given. So let's take a start. Okay, now we are going to start with yes, no, not given type of questions. Do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer in the text? Yes, no, and remember, whenever there is yes, no, not given, it is about writer's views or claims. Right? True, false, not given is for factual information, but yes, no, not given is for claims of the writer. So anyways, question number 27, doctors make decisions according to the symptoms that a patient describes. Now we need to find out about doctors, then we will see about their decisions, and then we'll see the patient symptoms and he describes. So let's just go back. This is where we have the passage. Okay, it's your choice, or is it really? As we move from the industrial age to the information age, societal demands on our mental capabilities are no less taxing. Okay, now we need to find the word doctor. Okay, alright. Symptoms. I found symptoms. Usually the answers are in the beginning. Let me read carefully. We are constantly required to process a wide range of information to make decisions. Okay, they are talking about decisions, right? Sometimes these decisions are trivial, such as what marmalade to buy. At other times, the stakes are higher, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor. Which symptoms to report to the doctor. However, the fact that we are accustomed to processing large amounts of information does not mean that we are better at it. Shaber and Simon 2009, he said that. So now let's see what is it that he says. The statement is doctors make decisions according to the symptoms that a patient describes. That's what they say here. Doctors make decision, but actually here they say at other times the stakes are higher, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor. I mean, we report the symptoms to the doctor. However, the fact that, but they do not say anything that they decide on that, right? I mean, there is no mention of that thing, that doctors make decision according to the symptoms that a patient describes. They are talking about symptoms that patients describe to the doctor. They are talking about that, but they are not talking about doctors that they make decision. So that's why the answer is going to be no. It's not given, because they have mentioned about this, but they did not mention that doctors make decisions according to the symptoms, because here they simply say at other times the stakes are higher, such as deciding which symptoms to report to the doctor and all that. Okay, now let's go on. The next question is, our ability to deal with a lot of input material has improved over time. So if our ability to deal with a lot of input material has improved over time, then it is yes, otherwise no, or not given. So let's search the same paragraph, because the answers can be at the same place. However, the fact that we are accustomed to processing large amounts of information, we are accustomed to processing large amounts of information does not mean that we are better at it. This sentence is very clear. However, the fact that we are accustomed to processing large amounts of information does not mean that we are better at it. And here what is the statement? Our ability to deal with a lot of input material has improved. He says it doesn't mean that we are better at it. So this is also no. Okay? Yes. Now let's go on. 29 is we tend to know when we have made an error of judgment. So whenever we make an error of judgment, he says we tend to know. I mean, we get to know that now we have made an error of judgment. Let's read ahead and we see if there is anything about that. Okay, our sensory and cognitive systems have systematic ways of failing, of which we are often perhaps blissfully unaware. Now what does he say here? He says processing large amounts of information does not mean that we are better at it. Our sensory and cognitive systems. Now sensory and cognitive systems, for this he has used the word here. We tend to know when we have made an error of judgment. Error of judgment is linked with sensory and cognitive systems. So now what is the statement? The statement says that we tend to know when we have made an error of judgment. Now let's see if we tend to know or not. Our sensory and cognitive systems have systematic ways of failing, of which we are often perhaps blissfully unaware. We fail and we are unaware about that. So he says here, we tend to know, but he says no, we are unaware. Tend to know and unaware. Unaware is the opposite thing. When we have made an error of judgment, that's why this is also no. So the first three statements are no. Let's go on. A legal trial, okay, could be significantly affected by change blindness. Now first we need to see where do they talk about change blindness. Once we find about change blindness, then we can just see a legal trial could be significantly affected. Now we got to see whether it is affected by it or not. So let's look for the word change blindness. First we need to find change blindness and there we can just see the answer. Okay, alright, change blindness. I'm looking for the word change blindness. Change blindness, visual disturbance, no. Over the past decade, change blindness, yes. We have change blindness here. Now let's see what do they say about that. Let's read the question once again, because you know the questions skip. A legal trial. Now we need to find a legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. So a change blindness legal trial, we need to see that as been many times, especially in our experiment. There is a study whether change blindness, again change blindness affects eyewitness identification. Okay, eyewitness identification, that is legal trial. Exactly, that's right. A legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. So eyewitness identification, especially participants were presented with a video enactment of a burglary. In the video, a man entered a house walking through the different rooms and putting variables into a knapsack, and however the identifier of the burglar changed after the first half of the film. While the initial burglar was out of sight, out of 80 participants, 49 did not notice the change of the burglar's identity, suggesting that change blindness may have serious implications for criminal proceedings. This sentence, suggesting that change blindness may have serious implications for criminal proceedings. Now what's the question? A legal trial. For legal trial, now they have used the word criminal proceedings, right? So a legal trial could be significantly affected. Change blindness may have serious implications. Significantly affected, may have serious implications. Okay, significant affected by change blindness. So a legal trial could be significantly affected by change blindness. Yes, exactly, because they say change blindness may have serious implications for criminal proceedings. So this is actually yes. Now let's go on. Scientists have concluded that we try to take in as much detail as possible from our surroundings. Now if scientists have concluded that we try to take as much detail as possible from our surroundings, then it is yes, otherwise it's no or not given. So now you need to find the word scientists, experts, researchers and all that. And the answers are going to be in order. So let's just find scientist. Okay, bizarre. All right, changing, expecting change. I don't find anything. Scientist. Yeah. Exactly. So it means my answer is going to be here somewhere. Drawing from change blindness, research. Okay, drawing from means conclusion. The answer is going to be here. Drawing from. Let's read the question once again. They say scientists have concluded that we try to take in as much detail as possible from our surroundings. So here they say, drawing from change blindness research, scientists have come to the conclusion that we perceive the world in much less detail than previously thought. We perceive the world in much less detail. And there they say, scientists have concluded the way that we try to keep in as much detail as possible from our surrounding. But here he says in much less detail. So this is the opposite. That's why the answer to question number 31 is no. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 no's and 1 yes, and there isn't any not given. So this is how you need to read, then look for clue words, scan the clue words, and then you can find the answers. Welcome back. Now you know when the statement is yes, or when the statement is no, or when the statement is not given. Just practice. You might get yes, no, not given in section 1 or 2 or section 3 in academic IELTS or in gender training IELTS as well. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I run another channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. You should subscribe that channel as well. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best. Take care. Allah Hafiz.